Jenny.
Hi.
Thank you for coming up. You're so sweet. How are you?
I'm good. How are
Gosh,
you?
I'm well, thank you. So you're working today, huh?
I'm at work. Yeah, but I'm not busy, obviously. So,
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for coming in. So, as we start, let's do this. Tell us the medication you're on. Tell us how long you've been on it. Tell us your stats, and then we'll go from there, okay?
I am on compound tirzepatide. I've been on it since I think April 19th was my first dose of that. Um, Scale's not moving very fast, which thankfully for this community, I am not, freaking out. I'm just
There you
being
go.
patient. So,
I like the eye
um,
roll with that. That was a good one. I liked it.
so, but I did try um, Zepbound first.
Okay.
In I took it in December and January, but my insurance didn't cover it, and so then I guess I could start from like
Yeah, that's okay. So
the
so you're saying that
beginning.
this year you started this, right? December, January of this year here, like 2025, 26?
Yes,
Okay.
after finding Jamie on
Yeah.
TikTok
Nice.
because I've done all the things I mean, I'm not diabetic. I'm just overweight. It didn't start until probably late teens, early 20s. Um, I've tried, I don't know what I can say and what I
That's okay. Keep talking. You're
can't,
fine.
but I've done Weight Watchers, the cabbage soup diet. I was doing that when I found out I was pregnant. So that took a long time before I would ever eat cabbage again.
Oh my God.
Um, but I've tried all different things. I always thought it was, having willpower. That's what I would hear from my husband.
So
He
Jenny, I
doesn't
don't know if you can hear me. I
use,
don't
he
know if you can
doesn't
hear me or if it's me, guys. Let me know in the chat. Is she freezing up? Jenny, if I were you, check your Wi-Fi, check your Bluetooth, whatever you need to do to make sure we're good to go there. And I think you're good now. I think it's
Yeah, I
almost
don't know.
that's okay.
Maybe it was because it was. I'll just move my thing here.
That's okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, I've tried different things. I had a old coworker had lost weight. I asked her what she was doing. She was going to Medi Weight Loss. So I think it's been almost 2 years. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I had no idea what it was, and it's kind of like a keto diet, which I never thought I could do. But when I went there, they suggested taking an appetite suppressant
Mhm.
to get started because they said like the first week is really hard. So I was like, I don't know about that. And so they talked me into trying phentermine, which I did. And then I was like, oh, that really, it helped with the food noise. But I didn't like it. Sometimes my heart would race. But it did work. I had, um, like almost 75 pounds. I got sick. And it was working. I was going to the gym 5 and 6 days a week. I'd lost almost 75 pounds. I got sick last year, ended up in the hospital. I had a viral flu, ended up with double pneumonia. I was in ICU. It was a whole big thing. And, anything, I'd been sick. But when I restarted, it just didn't work. And I think it wasn't really working anymore. So, of course, after you get sick, or at least me, say a work event, people are like, oh, you should have this cookie or whatever. And I'm like, you deserve it. You earned it. You were so sick. So I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. And I have always, once I, yeah, but I, just after that, I just continued to gain. I gained like 50 pounds back. Um, And at Medi, they offer like compound and different and name brand GLP-1s, and I was like, oh, I don't know. So I got on TikTok, and that's where Jamie popped up alive. I'd never watched TikTok
It
live,
does
nothing.
that
And
a
I'm like,
lot, you know?
and but
You were like, who is this guy on here? Let's listen to him.
it did, and it convinced me. So then I looked into it. Then I found you, and just snowballed, and that's the thing that I've ever done. I didn't really know what noise was until, and yeah, I've learned so much from this community. I mean, you and then Rebecca and everybody else, and I just can't now. I'm
Yeah.
constantly
So
giving your name and I'm like, you know, but yeah, so.
yeah, I love that. Keep talking, Jenny. You are freezing up and glitching every once in a while. I know you can't control that. Don't stress you out. Don't stress out. But I don't know if there's something you can do on your end on your phone. But um, so I love hearing that. I think it's so important to know that a lot of times people are supported and kind of start to go and from this community of hearing us on here, which is so great. It keeps us going because that's I know for at least Jamie and I, we that's our whole purpose of just trying to help people and show them that there's hope for their future, right? Um, so interesting enough, you as a teenager you started to gain or whatever, right? You said, are your parents obese at all or
No, my grandma on my mom's side
okay.
is. My mom's not, but she's she's kind of a
She's a piece of
she's
work.
got
I
her
got it.
yeah,
I got it.
yeah. So she has her own I guess addictive personality. She just has other things. So um but I guess there is obesity. Like I have a cousin, but she's struggled her whole life. I didn't. I was a little kid.
Mhm.
Um, but
So
I don't know.
as a teenager and you're starting to put on the weight and what are you thinking? Like what's your thought process during that time? Because that's a vulnerable time in our lives, right?
It is. It is. Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I would get frustrated. I remember, I mean, you don't forget things that there's some, like my grandpa saying, oh, you're gaining a little bit of weight. You better be careful. Well, he was actually, my grandma and grandpa both were obese, and I thought, geez, but it's something I never forgot. I mean, I'm 49 years old. Um, yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I would get frustrated. I had all these skinny, tiny friends, that I don't feel like I ate any different than they did. I guess it was just hormones changing, and
Yeah, that can be so
I don't
frustrating. I
know.
remember that too. I'm thinking, I'm not doing anything different than my friends are doing at all. Matter of fact, I'm more active, I felt like, than they were. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then as you were in your 20s and your 30s, I know you'd said you had, gained about 75 after the kiddos, or I think that's what you said. I could be
Well,
wrong.
no, I gained, well, I had lost 75 pounds
Okay.
after I started it, like Medi weight loss. I mean, I've gained, I've lost 50,
Yeah.
gained 80, just
Yeah.
um, but I had lost, yeah, 75 before I got sick last year. And then
And then
I
it,
also had going to the same gym. I was working with a trainer because I was like, look, I'm old. I'm 46. At the time, I was 46 when I started with my trainer. And I'm like, I don't want to hurt myself. Um, but I don't know what my thought. Oh, so I was with that gym, but then they changed hands, and it just wasn't. It was getting frustrating. It was not being kept up and cleaned. So I changed gyms, and that's also where I had a lot of anxiety. I felt uncomfortable because I was so comfortable at my gym with my. Even if we didn't talk, I saw the same faces. So it changed, and I stopped going to the gym. But I did just start back up, um, going. in the mornings before work. So,
Good for you.
uh, uh,
I love it. Jenny, you've come so far. So you started, you said what month this year?
April with compound.
With
So,
compound. Right. So again, you started December, January with Zepbound.
mhm.
And how did you do then? I know you said you got off of it, but how did you do when you were on that?
I probably lost maybe 10 pounds in that 2 months. I'd also, my daughter graduated from college in December, so we went to Key West um, the first week of January.
Mhm.
So, but I still did good because I feel like, even being on vacation. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And so you got off because it wasn't, you weren't able to get it anymore, right? Is that what you?
it wasn't, yeah, so I didn't really like at the time of open enrollment, I wasn't looking at GLP-1. So I didn't know what we had to offer, like what my work was covering and what they weren't.
Yeah.
But because I was in the hospital, I had met my out of pocket. So those 2 months of Zepbound were covered 100%. So I didn't know what they covered. The pharmacist said, come December, the last week of December and get your second prescription, make sure you get that. He didn't say your insurance doesn't cover it at all,
Yeah.
and I looked into it. So I did try, they don't cover Zepbound at all. They do cover Wegovy, but they denied me because I didn't have anything else wrong besides being obese. So,
But
um,
That's what Wegovy's for.
yeah, but they
Good
denied me, and
times.
my doctor would not. I asked her if she would appeal, and she was like, well, you just don't meet the requirements. And I have not, I have an appointment coming up, but I said, well, I guess I could try the compound route. And she's like, oh no, don't do compound, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, you won't
Fight for me.
back. So I'm like, if it weren't for this community and hearing other people that were on it, then I wouldn't have done it because she was like, oh no, don't do compound. But um, yeah, so I thought,
That's
well,
unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I'm glad you advocated for yourself and you found compound. Now going back, Jenny, I mean, just so you know, like if there ever comes a time where you need to talk with your doctor and insurance is involved, just keep fighting. I know it's a pain in the butt, but a lot of times we make our doctors do what we want and they end up doing it if they I mean they should, right? Anyway, so you were off for a little bit. Now you found compound, right? And so far on compound, how much have you lost?
um, about 10 pounds. But this week, the scale said I gained like 3 pounds, but I did just start working out again. So I'm just thinking it's my muscles maybe holding on to
Yeah.
water or whatever. I'm not going to freak out, and because I know I'm not overeating or
Good for you.
anything. So I'm like,
Good for you,
oh,
Jenny. I know you're saying that. I know you believe it, but I still know it's hard and frustrating. I get it. But it's
yeah.
true, right? If you're not eating above your maintenance, it's not fat. It's you holding on to water, and that's all completely normal. Again, what's the dose you're on right now?
Um, it's different. I think it's some weird 6.375 or something.
Yeah.
Just request to go up. It's like when I go up, like the first week, I feel like it's really working, and then like the second and third week, I'm like the food noise or whatever starts coming back. Like this week, I just feel hungry, you know.
Gotcha.
But I do have a new um, dose coming,
Yeah.
so
Well, you are at the beginning,
yeah.
really. So you're at the beginning, so don't freak out about that. right? You're going to see things change with you. And of course, as you know, if you heard, hunger's okay. The food noise is different, right? That obsessiveness about food and feeling out of control. That's the difference, right?
Right.
Hunger is okay. Food noises will be helped when you get to a therapeutic dose that's really, really good for you. So keep hanging in there. You're doing really, really well, really, truly. I'm very proud of you. I want you to remember that you are a fighter and not a failure, right? You had mentioned in this chat that, maybe it was because you didn't do things right. And here's the thing, we have a disease, right? Do you believe that this is a disease, Jenny?
Yes, I do now. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, I mean, I've just learned so much from listening to
Mm-hmm.
this community. I mean, I'm on every day working, listening, and soaking it all in. And um, if it wasn't for this community, I would kind of think it was, you know, um, because I do see where service is. I see it flashing now that it says my service is not very clear.
Yeah, it's been
But
out. Yeah.
my husband doesn't really get it. Um, he just thinks, well, you just eat less, you know. He doesn't understand. So I get a lot of my support from here, because I mean, we could have a cookie sitting on the kitchen counter and he could take a bite out of it, just a bite
And set it down.
every day
Yeah.
and set it down. Me, I'm like, I've got to eat it so it's gone. And then if it's gone, I can't, I can't,
You want more.
it's just, yeah, I want more. Or like if there's a bag, then in my head, I just think, well, if I just eat it and get it out of here, then I won't have to hear it anymore. So,
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's the
but
food noise. That's the food
yeah,
noise that is not normal, right?
right,
We can see that with your husband. He doesn't have that,
right,
right?
right.
And so how has that been for you, even just these couple months? Do you feel there's a difference yet with that, or do you still feel like you still struggle with that?
No, there's definitely a difference now. Um, yeah, that's when I really understood what it was when it was gone, So, um, yeah, I mean, like I said, this week I guess I've just been, and it could be because I'm working out, because I know that
Yeah,
makes
you're
you
gonna get
feel
hungry.
hungrier, because I'm
Yeah.
like, "Man, like, what do I have in my drawer here? I already ate, but, so it may just be time to, yeah, to up my,
Yeah.
to up
Or make
stuff.
really thoughtful, mindful choices of knowing now, okay, now my metabolism's revving up. I'm feeling more hungry. What do I have here? So like it's really good to like really start to prepare now to have something with you that is ready to go and that you don't search for something else, right? Where you're going to make bad choices. I shouldn't say bad, not bad choices, but not the best choices when it comes to like whatever else in your, because honestly, if in your work, there are some bad, I can't say bad. There are some different choices at work a lot of times that aren't the best, right? So to be prepared is really key for these moments, right? What is the things that you know that you like that you could snack on throughout the day if you feeling this hunger? That hunger.
Um, like I have a fridge here in my office. So I keep I've got cheese in there, or I need to restock, but like the little Baby Bell
Mm-hmm.
cheese. I've got protein bars in my drawer. I've got a bag of like mixed nuts. So yeah, I've been keeping that on hand. Sometimes, I especially like I might take my shot on Sundays. So like Monday I have to more usually force myself to eat, but I do it because I know it's important. So I do make sure that I get it in, whether it's with a protein drink or whatever I have to do. But
Yeah,
um,
good for you.
uh,
You're
so,
doing all the things. So, with your experience that you've had, what would you want someone who's struggling right now to hear?
um, Oh, I'm bad at this.
That's okay. I mean, just think about it. Like the what you've gone through, the struggles you've gone through, and how you've overcome or how you deal with it. Like if someone's God saying things that maybe you can relate to, like what would you tell somebody? How would you uplift them?
Um, for one, like find your people, that can help. Like I tell people all the time. I have a cousin that she's on Zepbound, and I always tell her, you got to come check out, get on, TikTok, find these people. You'll learn so much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good at,
It's okay,
I'm
Jimmy.
very good
I
at
get
that.
it. Like, it's just like for me, it's like, listen, we're all doing this together, right? Like you said, just come together. Let's hang out. Let's just realize we're all in this together, whatever part of the train we're on. Some of us are on the caboose. Some of us are in the engine. Some of us are in the car with all the food or whatever, right? I mean, we're all traveling the same in different ways, right? And it's just nice to know that there's support. Um, and that's awesome. That's a great thing to say. Absolutely. Come together, hang out with us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't shut up about it. I'm always telling people, I went and got a DEXA scan because I learned that I wish I would have done it, 3 years ago when I started working out. But I did go get one since I knew I was going to get back into my routines. And I was telling them about it. I because they're excited, of course, because I'm like, yeah, I'm a project, because they're like, oh, we're so excited for you. You can. And so I don't know but yeah, I tell people
Yeah.
all the
You're
time.
shouting it out to the rooftops.
I
Do this,
am.
get
I
this.
know. I'm like, you got to look into this, and even like people that I know that are on one. I'll like make sure you eat your protein, even if you're not hungry. I said you have to get that in, and um, yeah, I
And
don't.
that's part of healing too, and being treated as well is to talk to people about this, right? It's
Right.
it's such a good thing for our mental state too, to just share what we've learned and get excited for that. Um, You have talked about going to the gym really quickly. So let's talk about that. How has that been for you? Like if someone is struggling to move their body or work out, what is your advice or what's your experience with doing what you do?
Well, I mean, I've told people, that well, I joke because people are like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, if you go in the morning, you just wake up and roll out of bed before you know what you're doing, and you're there, so you might as well. But I mean, I've told people you don't have to go to the gym, just move your body, walk. Um, but I like going to the gym. I feel like I'll be more likely to do it. I mean, I'm not going to go there and just sit down and be like, well, you know. So
Right. Like
I
you
do
would in your
like
basement gym, right? Instead of like,
right,
yeah.
right. Because like at home, when I got rid of my treadmill because I was going to the gym. But my husband would hang stuff on it,
Oh,
put boxes, and I'm like, well, forget it. I'm not going to mess with
yeah.
that. Um, so I mean, I do like going. I like to push myself. A funny story. I was in Sabrina's live yesterday, and she was on the Stairmaster, and so well. I guess first I'll like so with the I like cardio. I mean, I like doing resistance training also. But years ago, I had joined a gym, and you got to meet with a trainer one time, and so he had me get on this elliptical, and he's talking to me, and I'm like, dude, I can't talk to you. Like I can barely breathe, and that was like 3 minutes. So that was one thing that I was going to conquer. So I worked on that, and I worked up to an hour on it. So I'm like, okay, I can do this for an hour. What's next? And I would see this kid on the Stairmaster every morning, and I'm like, I'm going to try that. And so I tried it one day, and I got on for like 10 minutes. So the next time I saw him, I was like, I got on that the other day, and I did 10 minutes, and he'd be on there. I'd be on the elliptical for an hour, and he was on the Stairmaster for an hour. And so I was like, I don't know how you do that. I did 10 minutes and I thought I was going to die. And he just laughed and he's like, well, I didn't, I don't even know if I could do 10 minutes the first time. He's like, you just have to work up to it. So I joked with him and he's young. He was in his early 20s. I said, okay. I said, well, 6 months from now, I said, we're going to race, and he started laughing. And, but I did, before I got sick, I had worked up to an hour on that. I mean, I didn't go, he was probably on like a level 8, and I was on a 3. I might move it up to a 5, and
Good for
but
you.
yeah. So I use that as a way to like a something to challenge myself.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that you said that you guys were having this banter back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us that are older, maybe, or whatever, feel like we don't know what we're doing, think that these 20-year-olds are making fun of us or watching us and stuff. But here's your experience where you guys are having this banter and it was kind of fun, right? So what's your experience when it comes to going to the gym and having people like, because that's what most people are scared of, I feel like, is that they're going to judge them. What's your experience with that?
I did, where the gym I was at, and in the mornings, it was a lot of older people. So I guess I just felt comfortable with them, and I had done a class and got to know people. But I did, you do feel like people are looking at you, but they're not. When I was going, even some of the younger people, they start to notice that you're there every day, and they're like, "Good job, keep it up," looking good or whatever. So I always try to make eye contact with people. I guess it's just in me to smile and say hi. So, um, yeah,
Yeah.
just I just go. There's times I feel, uncomfortable. The gym I had initially switched to, I didn't feel it was a lot of younger people. They did a lot of bodybuilding, and it was nice and clean, but I just didn't, it wasn't my place. So you have to find a place where you feel comfortable.
I love that. Right. Don't be discouraged one time if things don't work out right. Find your place.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Quick funny story. I just was going to say, like when you were saying at home, like, it's better to go somewhere and have that accountability versus at home. I can remember many times starting a video at home to do something. And then I would stop and literally I would find myself sitting on the couch, eating something, watching the video, watching the workout video, just like, oh God, yeah, look at them go. I'm like, this is hilarious. I'm sure I cannot be the only one, like stopping quickly and just watching it, like on the couch. Like, oh my God. So I agree with you there. Like, I am very much, I can't work from home, although I do. I do better in an environment where I'm like having people around me. So I do go to the gym. Leah, you've had that too? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, gosh, what is one thing so far in this journey that you've had in a few months that surprised you about yourself? Anything?
Um, I'm surprised I got up here live when I did that in it was Sabrina and Jay's,
Yep.
and Jay invited me up because I said something. I'm like, I don't really have a story to tell yet, and so he invited me, and I'm like, well, I got to go now. I can't not, and I was super nervous. I think I feel a little bit better because I watch you every morning, so um but yeah, that I know when I first got on a GLP-1, I was like, because so many people can be judgy about it and weird, I was like, I don't think I'm going to tell anybody. But that's not true. I tell everybody. I just can't. And if they are leery, I'm like, no, you really need to do your research. It's not what you
Yeah.
think. So, yeah, I do, I guess.
I love that. You're not the only one. I think part of our healing and part of our confidence can come through this crazy app with this crazy community and chatting and coming up on lives, right? I mean, so many people who have said that. They were like, I never would have thought, never would I thought I'd show my face on here and talk to
Yeah.
someone on the camera and have, 84 people listening to me. But it does something to you, right? I don't know, right? It helps. It helps you. So I recommend it if anybody's feeling that way. If you feel the urge just a little bit, don't hesitate because it really can be a healing thing, right? Don't you feel?
I think I think so. I mean, I yeah, just telling your story, listening and hearing. I mean, the other people are going through the same. Like I learned, just I didn't, feel like at first my story because I'm like, well, I don't have a lot of, I wasn't obese my whole life. I'm not diabetic. I don't have PCOS or PMOS or whatever. So I'm like, I'm just,
Right. Who am I to tell my story? Were you on
yeah.
yesterday when I interviewed Nick? Or 2 days ago, maybe?
I caught part of it, but I've caught him before too.
Yeah, he
So
was saying the same thing. He's like, I've only had 25 pounds lost. How can I be part of this? How do I have something to say? And it's just so not
yeah,
true.
yeah,
Yeah. So I love it. I love it when everybody comes up and shares every part of their life story because it all matters and everyone can relate to some extent of somebody for sure.
yeah.
Ah, I love that. So what are you thinking? What's the future hold for you? Like, tell me what you want to see in a year from now. Like, what are your thoughts?
Um, I just want to feel good. You know, um, I don't have a weight
Yeah.
goal. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I struggle with self-confidence. I don't know that even losing weight, maybe that will help. That's always been a thing for me. But I don't know. I'm hoping that,
Yeah.
does help. I'd like to, um, well, I think I've mentioned before, like just on the goal, but I loved like the buckle when I was a kid and a teenager, and they don't carry the same brands as, I don't think Z Cavaricci it exists anymore, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to get a pair of jeans there, or
Yeah.
I want to ride a bike. A big regret is I have one daughter. She's 23 now, but her and her dad would go on bike rides, and she's like, "Mom, are you gonna come?" And I'm like, I don't want people being like, "Oh, look at that lady on that bike," I regret that. We talked about going when we were in Key West, getting bikes and riding around or whatever, but we didn't end up doing it there. But maybe
Yeah.
next
I
vacation or
know you will.
something.
You will ride that bike, girl. Listen, I remember after, let's see, I was 344. I was like 244. And I was in Minneapolis and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on a bike and I'm gonna bike around this lake. And I did it. It was hot, but I was so excited. It was hottest day in Minnesota. I don't know what happened. It was like
Yeah.
freaking over 100. And funny enough, Jenny, I got nervous and I was coming up to this like street and I was like, oh, I have to go down this curb and like there's cars and I got nervous and I started going and I fell. I fell on the
Oh,
bike. And here I am, all 234 pounds sprawled out on the ground. And I was like, nobody look at me. Nobody see me. I'm fine. Everyone's like, are you okay, honey? I'm like, I'm fine. But I laugh about it now because I was doing the thing. I wanted to get on that darn bike so bad. And I fell off that bike. Yes, I did. And I got back up and I started riding it. And I'll never forget that moment. Because yes, that was a funny moment, but I was like, you know what? I haven't ridden a bike in forever. And now I can ride this bike without my stomach hitting my knees. I mean, to an extent they still did, but I did it and I felt good. And I know you will too. This is a fun moment. I want you to let me know when that day is that you get on that bike, even if it's just for 10 minutes.
we're going. I'll be 50 in September, so I was like, I don't want to party because I don't. I'm not much of a drinker. I get really. I mean, I could have two drinks and feel like I drank a 12 pack.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's not worth it. So anyway, we're going to Florida because I was like, I want my toes in the sand on my 50th birthday. So maybe we will rent bikes when we're there in September. So
Absolutely. Oh, that's so exciting. Thank you for sharing that. I love hearing stuff like that. So that's a fun little victory that you're looking forward to. Any fun non-scale victories that you've had even just in the last few months that you can see a difference in?
Not really yet. Not any non-scale right now. I did have, when I lost my 75 pounds, I did do some, I guess I could share that story but I had moved my daughter, I think it was out of her dorm her freshman year. And she was moving in Missouri, maybe other states too, but she went to Mizzou, and if she stayed that summer, she could get residency to have in-state tuition.
Mhm.
So I told my husband, I'm like, oh, it's fine. You don't have to go. I can move her out. The dorm, they've got that down to a T, that moving in and out. So not thinking that the apartment that she was going to stay in didn't have an elevator. It was on the third floor. And this is, I don't, May, the end of May or mid-May or whenever it was. I, so it was just going to be her and I. And it was like 90 some degrees because her move out date or time at the dorm, was midday. So I thought I was going to die. I wanted to cry. I almost called my husband and said, "You're going to have to drive 4 hours and come and help her because I'm going to die." It's 3 stories. Um, so it was terrible. She probably did 3 trips to my one. So I had started working out, and when we went back for something like the next year, I mean, she was still there, but I said, let's go back to that apartment. I said, I want to go up those stairs and see, and I did. I had I'm like, record me because I want you to record me going up these stairs. And so that was one at that point. Um,
Oh, I love that.
but it's not a recent one. But
That's okay. I want you to do something for me because you do have some sort of non-scale victory after this loss. You do. And I want you to just try to think about it today. Write something down. It doesn't have to be anything physical. It could be mental. It can be something small. But I know you do. And I want you to find one for me. Okay. And then let me know later. Okay.
okay, I'll
Okay.
think about that.
Awesome. Awesome. Any last thing that you want to say before we go that I haven't mentioned or anything talked about?
Not that I can really think of, but
Yeah.
I'll probably think of like 20 things after I get off here.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have said this, or
Yeah.
um,
Drew's making a good point. You got on here today. That's a non-scale victory.
that's true. That's true. I did. So, oh yeah. Um, yeah. I'll have to think about it. And
Okay. I'd love for you to do that. Well, thank you for coming on, Jenny. Thank you for spending time with us today. I appreciate that.
me, and thank you for what you do because you've definitely changed my life. So, and
That's
I'm so grateful for all the people that I just can't shut up about it. I love it. So.
that's awesome.